feel like when you ask most people what their favorite season is, they say fall. I've just done a poll over the years, and that's what people tend to like. I've never really gotten in line with that until this year. This year has been so beautiful here in the Pacific Northwest, gorgeous colors, and I'm just embracing that fall vibe. I'm having some spiced cider mix. It's a market spice, and it's got allspice, orange peel, cinnamon, and cloves. And it smells so good. Every fall, my local art store has an annual sale, so I took advantage of that, and I'm going to show you what I got. I picked up 2 of these Krylon UV resistant acrylic coating, which I spray on all my artwork when I'm done, and that protects it from sunlight and a little bit of damp. And I like the matte one, not the gloss. I also picked up some more of these chalks. These are hand-rolled chalks, and I like these because they're really juicy. They really are velvety. They're just kind of like little candies. 2 more of those. Winsor Newton Cerulean Blue. I use 2 blues when I paint, and that's ultramarine blue and cerulean blue. And I found that this particular cerulean is nice. I'll just put a little bit on my palette, and it goes a long way, that I make into millions of other kinds of blues. I also picked up some vine charcoal. I use it a lot to warm up, and I also will drag it across some of my mixed media pieces. For some reason, vine charcoal is really expensive, and I don't know why. It's just these little tiny threads of charcoal. And maybe it's the process. And I got one of these contour tools, which I don't usually do because I try to find tools from around the house, but I couldn't resist this one. It has a little crenellated edge there. I also got a new ruler with cork backing that helps hold it down against the paper when you're measuring or cutting. And the one I have now is just covered in paint, so I can't even see the numbers on the old one. My husband picked this out for me. He knows I like to paint with long handles. I love these Hahnemuhls, and this is an example of one that I started. I don't like that flowery cover, so I made my own cover, and they're just really thick paper. It's almost like cardboard. If I can see, I'll show you here. This book I didn't get at the art store. I got online on Amazon. They're just so elegant. They're Italian, and they're just really beautiful. They smell Italian. I was kind of messing around in this book already. And while I was at the art store, I saw this guy giving a demonstration on Chinese calligraphy, sumi-e brushwork, which is a brush with ink on rice paper. I've always wanted to learn sumi-e because I feel like it would help me with my paintings. And so I was asking him all kinds of questions, and he said, well, I have a workshop tomorrow if you want to come. So I signed up for it, and these are the supplies. So the paper is this sumi-e paper. And then there's a nicer one, which I didn't even open. It's the sprinkle gold, and it has little flecks of gold in there. So this ink stone is where you put your ink.
And you see that? So
there's this ink that comes in this bottle. He passed around a gift for us, which is an ink stick. And in the box, this beautiful box, and the ink stick, which is beautiful, is basically solid ink. You put a little water in that ink stone, and then you rub circular motions with this. I already use a lot of calligraphy brushes just to paint with because I love how they pick up paint. But these are specifically designed for the ink, and I won't use them in my acrylic paintings because it'll ruin the brush. But they have specific types of brushes for different kinds of strokes. Rat Tail Fine, CC5 Yasumoto, Northern Wolf, Best Combination. This one is the largest of them all, and it's called the Zuan, and it's good for doing washes. This book, which is, it's like an accordion, so it just keeps going. And I started practicing in this book, doing some bamboo. It's like this, I just think, this is orchid, and you just learn how to paint these beautiful simple lines, and you have to do it right the first time because you can't go back and fix it. You have to keep practicing until you get good at those specific strokes. We started with circles just to figure out, you know, how to hold the brush and use the ink. And then here I was practicing the bamboo. Like there's a specific stroke you have to do where it's like hard, light, hard, light, hard, lift the brush. And so I was just kind of learning how to do that. I found the leaves to be really hard. This was his, and he made it look so easy. When we were watching his demonstration, I was like, oh, I can do that. But that right there, I couldn't even do that. It was so hard. He also gives you these practice sheets that has the chrysanthemum or the flower pattern that you just trace over. So I was tracing over with the brush. He gives you a picture of these chrysanthemums, and then you have the specific technique with the brush. So I was experimenting with that. Lilies or orchids, I can't remember what type of flower that is. Not easy. Another thing I've been up to is I finally got my site built, and I literally have been procrastinating building this site for a year. The learning curve of learning Squarespace and just trying to figure it out was so hard until I finally just did it. And then once I got it down, it was so easy. So I built my website. It's up. Check it out. It's blakelillianhellman.com. And basically, I've been trying to figure out the best ways to photograph my art, you know, pricing the art. I want my art to be affordable. And I'm understanding that like shipping to the UK and outside of the United States is very expensive. And I have shipped a couple pieces to the UK. Thank you. You know who you are. It's great to have my stuff out there and people liking it enough to buy it. And so for my website, and I really have always liked these floating frames because they leave a little gap between the artwork and the frame. I have some shims in there right now so that when I attach the frame to the artwork, it doesn't move around. Oh, I posted this piece on my website if you are interested. And it does come with this frame, which is beautiful. It's like a walnut frame. And here's a different one. This one's maple, but it just makes the piece of art really beautiful and put together.